The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, the Power Trading Hour, with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another wonderful edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host, David White, at the headquarters of Technical Trading and Investing, TFNN.com. So what do we have right now? Market 1846.21. The last 2 days we've been going through options rollover. I know everybody wanted to get a lot of excited over the last 2 trading days. About 2 o'clock, about right now, is when everybody, not everybody, but most people on Wall Street that are in option market makers are done rolling over their options. And we're going to see probably the true direction of the market. Sometimes we get it late on Tuesday, but more likely on Wednesday. That they've pushed this thing up on light volume suggests they're trying to sell a lot of calls out here at higher levels and maybe bleed out a little bit of the put value. But we'll know tomorrow, Thursday probably at the latest. At least I will, on whether or not short is being the right thing. Now, one of the other things is we need this market to crack fairly quickly. We are running into options expiration, or not options expiration. We're running into fund buying. The last 2 days and first 3 days of the month, by charter, if you are a fund, you have to be 100% invested. If you look in the charter of those funds, about 80% of them you're going to see somewhat that kind of terminology. Now, it doesn't say they're going to cut your head off with an axe if you're not fully invested by the third day of the first of the new month. But it's pretty much a given that if you're a money manager, you buy funds, and if it's a long tech fund, that you're responsible for hedging that position. And if you're not 100%, and they don't know that you're 100%, they don't know how to hedge appropriately. So the fund manager's job is to get the most he can in good times and reduce the amount that he loses in bad times, but at all times be 100% invested. So anyway, we've got a market out here, 2.1 billion shares as we start the show. Not a lot of volume, especially trying to break out here for the third, fourth, fifth, eighth time, whatever it is. Constantly knocking at the door, but finding no one at home for higher prices, at least in the S&P. We always like to start off the day with a little bit of history. And in 1862, President Lincoln signed the Legal Tender Act, putting the U.S. government in the business of printing paper money. Previously, most money had been printed privately by local banks. The act also authorized the Treasury to sell 6% bonds callable in 5 years, maturing in 20, which are quickly nicknamed 520s. A Philadelphia broker named J. Cook devises what he calls the democratic distribution of investments, slicing the 520s into denominations as small as $50, advertising them heavily in local newspapers, and hiring his own small army of 2,500 traveling agents to sell them in towns throughout the Union. He raises $361 million in less than 2 years, and this is 1862. Probably not a bad deal out there. The guy probably got to retire off that deal. Pretty smart, but we are still buying treasuries all these years later. But it started this day in 1962. And what do we have going on? Hang Seng was off 0.3%. The one that should worry everybody, and the one that's probably a little cloud over the market today, is the Shanghai Composite Index off 2%. Japan's Nikkei still kind of climbing up from the super easy money. Talk about easy money. They're not just dropping out of helicopters. They're shooting it out of cannons and spitting it out of ATMs, and they can't just print money fast enough over there in Japan. I suspect it will come home to roost like the proverbial chicken. What else do we have? Oh, another interesting article I saw today, especially with gold flipping around as it has. And what do we have? Gold up another $4.50 today at $1342.50. What do we have that's interesting? And that is with the water being so low down in California, gold tends to settle, of course, in the lowest areas, or at least on the banks. But a lot of these creeks and rivers flowing out of gold territory have been covered for 100 years that are now uncovered or very close to being uncovered. A huge new crew of gold rushers are out in California going through all the hills and exposed areas that has never been seen by human hands. But what can you say? Kind of interesting to see that whatever is old is new again, and the gold treasure hunters are back out in California. And Tesla was trading up today, and interestingly enough, they're forecasting about 32,000 cars next year. Got a pat on the back from Consumer Reports, and it's probably, by all rights, a $90,000 car is really nice. The downside is that they're selling 32,500 cars. They're priced as if they're selling 375,000 cars next year. That means that they could grow like this for 12 years and probably not grow into the price that they have. Saw some talking heads today. They all said that they think Tesla's going higher, and it would all end like everybody knows it will, which is Tesla going bankrupt. I don't know if it's in 4 years or 2 years, but my guess is that this will be, and a few other things that our Tony Stark, CEO out there, has been pushing, going to be kind of looked in the rearview mirror as what the hell were we thinking? Anyway, Morgan Stanley's Adam Jonas, who probably deserves to be beaten with a shovel, is now saying his price target is 320 from 153. And you're always going to get some guy on this. Hopefully he got his retirement, because my guess is that maybe it goes up a little higher. But you always get one guy out there yelling 1,000 on Amazon in 2000, and maybe 12 years later it becomes true, but a lot later than sooner. The question is, can they keep their margins up as they expand? And the answer is no. Now, how bad they get hit is up to debate. But I could say that, let's say that they get double the margin that anybody else does in the industry. That would still make their company worth about, even on forward PE, maybe $60 a share. So we've got a stock trading in the 250 range, possibly worth in 5 to 7 years, $50, $80. And everybody knows how it's going to end. It is the car tulip of 2014. But just be aware. I warned you. I warned you. Yesterday on the Tom O'Brien show, someone came up with some kind of play in which they were going to play the rollover in some of these ETFs. And I thought I'd bring it up. I did post it in the den. And that is a rollover date. And that date is not a single date, but over 4 days. So when these things like UNG and USO and a lot of these other commodities that are based on futures contracts but traded as ETFs, especially the ETNs, a lot of them famously blew up a couple of years ago. Because everybody jumped on them because the rollover date was 1 day, and they'd always stick it to the people because they knew that that contract had to roll over on that specific date. Well, they've changed it now, and there's a rebalance start and a rebalance end. And that is over 4 days, and they don't tell you exactly when, and they don't guarantee you that the rebalance is over on that date or that it starts on that date. You can start on that day, can stay 2 days early, can actually end 2 days after that. But they suspect that 99% of the time that they'll be able to handle it across the 4 trading days from the rebalance start that they publish to the rebalance end that they publish. But you can always check that out. If you want the link to this, I'm showing actual web page, or at least a picture of the web page in the Tiger TV. But if you want the actual link for these, you can always email me at path@tfnn.com. That's path@tfnn.com. And I welcome your phone calls at 877-927-6648. That's 877-927-6648. So we'll continue moving on. One of the YouTube channels that I really love is one called Veritasium. This gentleman, another gentleman that does 1 minute physics, and another guy that makes all manners of things to shoot things with, like archery and all kinds of stuff. They're kind of the more interesting channels on YouTube. This one called Veritasium, though, is a gentleman that does a lot of math, science related videos. I kind of enjoy watching them before I go to bed. And I didn't get around to this because I wanted to wait. He was going to have a second video come out. But basically, he's talking about the fraud on Facebook. And he makes a extremely compelling case that half of the money that Facebook makes is based on phony likes. And not only has he done this, but he's done it, he quotes some people from the BBC and I think a newspaper, maybe The Guardian, where they've all set up these phony web pages and paid Facebook for, quote, quote, likes in the United States, only to find out these things are phony baloney. Good time rock and roller likes from probably Bangladesh and Thailand, and a place where all the click fraud farms are located. If you don't remember, around 2000, it was all about how many clicks you had, how many eyeballs you had, and there was a huge amount of fraud around all this, where people were paying, well, in case even today, paying for 1,000 likes or 1,000 clicks, you get $1. And that's what most of these people are doing there. They probably don't even understand what the computer is or what it does. All they know is to sit there and click. And he showed basically the problem with Facebook is you'll never know really what's out there because of the fraud, and because half the money in Facebook comes from the fraud. You never really know what you've got. If you are a small-time guy on Facebook, you're going to get screwed. And you're going to get screwed horribly over by Facebook. And the best thing you can do is probably go elsewhere, he says. But extremely compelling video. If you want the links to that, email me at path@tfnn.com. I'll be glad to send them to you. You can also post something new in the den for me to look at. And we'll be back in a minute.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com. Wouldn't it be great if you could get a red light, green light indicator that gives you signals on 25 different futures contracts? Now you can with Taz Signal Box. This red light, green light market profile system dynamically updates 24 hours a day and provides you with important trend and trade signals on 9 different commodities, 9 different indices, and 8 different currencies. Right now, you can receive a 2-week free trial to Taz Signal Box. For all the details and to find out how the Signal Box works, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Andy Heck's powerful weekly newsletter, the Technomental Commodity Report, has delivered multiple triple-digit winning trades in recent months. And right now's the perfect time to get a full month-long trial to Andy's newsletter with no obligation to pay anything. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you'll lock in the low rate of only $59 a month. Sign up right now for the Technomental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
You've always taken the long view when it comes to investing, but what if there's an opportunity right under your nose? What if you could be more responsive to market trends to seek to boost your portfolio performance right now while seeking to reduce your overall risk? At Direction Funds, we connect investors with alternative strategies that seek to maximize their returns. Smart investors deserve smart alternatives. Find yours at directionfunds.com. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risk charges, and expenses of Direction Funds carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Funds. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact the Direction Funds at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. Investing in index funds may be more volatile than investing in broadly diversified funds. Distributed by Rafferty Capital Markets, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen, live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den, absolutely free, for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And we're back. And, okay. Yeah, missed a few things out here, basically, because I was chatting in the IMs and not paying attention to my knitting. And I'll have to remember to just ignore the people on the IMs out there for the most part. Anyway, I had a couple of people want the links, so I've already sent those out. We've got some other questions. We'll try to answer those, and you can always post stocks that you want to look at in the den, and we'll keep an eye on new things going on out here. 1846 on the S&P cash, 2.2 billion shares. As I said, we are now pretty much over options expiration rollover. In these 2 days, you go ahead and start putting on new positions. If you're an option market maker, you also sell and try to get out of old positions. And normally, you've got some decent volatility, like we've seen. Normally, late Tuesday or on Wednesday, you get the true direction of the market, and I'll be waiting for that. Probably tomorrow. Maybe we'll get a big move here before the end of the day. But if it does, it happens in the last 30 minutes. If it if it doesn't happen today, then we should have a good indication with a volume tomorrow on where this market is truly moving. At the rate that everybody was pushing and selling calls, my belief is that we are headed down, and I am 100% short. Added to that position yesterday with some index calls or index positions, and so I'm fully 100% invested to the dark side at the moment, so we'll be watching how that goes on. And what else? I was just going to say, someone asked if Tesla and Netflix are blow-off tops, and they certainly haven't closed lower yet, but we need to see something like that. I suspect Netflix closer to a blow-off top than Tesla. A lot of people probably still need 3 days on Tesla to get the margin calls out of them. I know a lot of people were short that. The stock's still owned 60% institutionally, and 30% of that's short. So it's a tough nut to crack. Netflix probably a lot easier to get a beat on, and we'll watch and see if this thing closes. My guess is if it closes below 455, then yes, we are talking about a blow-off top at Netflix. Probably not so much on Tesla. Give it about another 3 days, and I think that's going to be all she wrote. But it's going to be tough on Tesla, beating a highly short stock with massive institutional ownership and a company that really makes next to nothing. They can always keep that going. So anyway, if you want to, you can always give me a call at 877-927-6648, 877-927-6648. But again, we're waiting for the closeout here. You know, we're off a couple of points on the S&P cash, and a lot of it's going to be, every time we get a close below 1838 on the S&P cash, that is, we are getting one more little I guess signal to the downside, and we'd have to watch it. What we do have to also watch is that they don't hold this up long enough to get it into the fund buying. I don't suspect we're going to see fund buying this week. It will probably come in next Monday. So if we do go down, expect that we're probably going to go up or a little sideways the first couple of days of next week as that fund buying goes on. And no questions in the den. Let me check and see if we've got any new mail. If not, I'm going to start taking a look at some charts. And how do we get there? There we go. Looking at a lot of stocks out here. Let's go ahead and look at some that are testing their highs. And hopefully we got it going on here. United States Steel, I've been watching this mostly because it was going through its last hurrah. It did... I guess you can almost say that it did test the January 27th low, and that was at 24.46. 13 million shares, got into it with 17 million shares on the 19th, but really didn't blow through it, but now continuing on down. So it's stocks like that that make me think we have hit at least a short-term high in the market. Be back in a minute.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock in option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
No matter where you listen to TFNN programming, we want you to know you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones and iPads, located at the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a mobile connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all of our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and radio call and talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com. Educating investors. This segment is brought to you by Harmony Gold. For more information, just click the Harmony Gold banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
As we come back, you can give me a call at 877-927-6648 or 877-927-6648. When is it time to short GLD? Got a question about when it's time to short gold. And like I said, this could be the fifth wave in gold. I'm not going to be getting out in front of it anytime soon. And just my theory on shorting gold in the first place is that there are a lot of stocks that I know are going to go to zero. Pretty sure BlackBerry's going to go to zero. Radio Shack, probably a good chance it goes to zero. Sears Holdings, zero. Best Buy, probably zero. Maybe years from now. But I don't think gold's going to zero. And for a 150-point bounce in gold, does it make a lot of sense to be shorting that? Isn't there a lot better stocks out there or better opportunities in the market? I could see shorting gold maybe at 18 or 1900 and back to 1200, but what are you going to get? $1,200 out of it? So you're going to short 1340 to 1200? I just don't see the point. I think there are much better fish in the sea than shorting at GLD. And what can you say? Just a lot better shorts out there. There's a lot of times on the street, they give it a name. They say, change the name. That basically means you're probably looking in the wrong spot. but we'll look at it. Anyway, we're going to look at a few stocks here early on, but again, you can call me at 877-927-6648, or you can send me a email at path@tfnn.com. I've got sorry, it's hot down here today, and I was out working in the backyard just before the show. I need a little bit of lemonade. Anyway, Textron, looking at this thing, looking at a lot of them, and just seeing these stocks with triple tops out here with very light volume, especially Textron today. TXT is the symbol on this thing. And, of course, pretty typical of the market as a whole. December 20th, you had a lot of volume, 12 million shares. You bust through that but closed below it on January 22nd with 6.8 million shares. Yesterday, you get 2.45 million shares, and it closes back below the previous high. Today, you got 1 million shares. So we'll say that you get some more volume out here, but certainly seeing a very light and almost a vapor-like top in a lot of these new stocks. Let's see. We got Texas Instruments, another one out here, fairly interesting. This did test its previous high by a penny yesterday. The first high I'm looking at is that January 22nd high with 9.8 million shares, $44.82. Beats it by a penny yesterday with 5.6 million shares, and doing a kind of a little doji out there, actually a big doji on this, but not unsurprising. We're seeing a lot of these stocks up at these higher levels without much juice. Talking about the juice, Molson Coors Brewing Company, symbol is a TAP. Another one of these up here with very light volume. This did break the November 6th high, $56.26, on January 13th with higher volume, but it came back down. Of course, higher volume, probably going to get retested. So you were looking for that November 6th high to get tested at $56.26. And we certainly have done that in the last few days. You needed 1.6 million shares. Yesterday you got 1.37 million shares. Today, 384,000 shares. Again, just showing you not a lot of juice as we're coming in to these highs. It'll be very interesting to watch the close at the, of course, at the end of the day. It's pretty redundant, isn't it? I'll have to remember not to say that again. Anyway, Constellation Brands, STZ, symbol on that one. January 14th, the high, $81.56, 2 million shares. We're going through it today with 1 million. Actually, yesterday you had 1 million shares. Today, just 752,000 so far. It doesn't look like we're going to continue up with any kind of huge volume in that either. The SSO, hang on just a second here as we looking at it. ProShares Ultra S&P 500, another one of these that broke through yesterday with lighter volume, basically almost half of that lighter volume. When we see this thing again today, it's down at the moment, but you did go through it. You went through it significantly yesterday, and you went through it with half the volume. So even on some of these ETFs, you're seeing these low volume tests of the top, and it could be problematic. So just keep an eye on it. Anyway, how much time? We got 10 minutes in this segment. We got other stocks to look at here. And Renord Corporation. I don't know much about this one, so let me go ahead and pull up what this is. Designs, manufactures, markets, and services process and motion control and water management products worldwide. The company operates through two segments: processes and motion control platforms and water management solutions. So this one's had a nice run up off about $18.24 back from August 20th. We are retesting the high. Yesterday, fairly light volume, maybe a little bit better. Not so. 459,000 yesterday, 193 today. Your best volume was on the 18th with 492,000 shares. So another one of these you want to keep an eye on. ROC, Rockwood Holdings. This thing supposedly breaking out today. Needs 2.1 million shares and you got 1.1 million with what, an hour and 15 minutes left in the trading day. So we're going to be watching this one also, keeping an eye on it. But like I said, fairly typical of this market to see a lot of these stocks out here. I don't know if anybody's asking JPM. I don't know if that was a request or just typing in the window. I don't see a lot in that just yet. LPL Financial, we've been tracking this the last couple of days. Pretty much the same thing. Another high out here, testing the January 22nd high, $54.91. Went through it again. The high today, 55.19, is going to close back below it. So a lot of sell signals on various stocks, double topping out in this marketplace. Yeah, let's see. Russell 2000 Gross Index, the IWO. Now this one, you had 1.1 million shares going through the previous high out here of January 22nd with 1.9 million shares. Of course, 1.4 million shares today with an hour to go. And, okay. And got in the DIN SGG. Everybody's all hot on sugar. Looks like a little spike out here. Now, the big problem I have with doing anything with the SGG is just the volume. I'm sure Andy will be on after the show today. And the problem with trying to look at SGG for the chart and not go back and look at the commodity is that the volume just isn't here in this ETF. And I can look at that and I can just say it's like asking 5 people who should be the president. It's not statistically significant and more likely to get me in trouble than to do anything else. You can make money in this, but you're probably looking at the contract in the sugar and you're not looking at how this ETF is actually trading. But maybe that would be a good question for Andy after this show. But Mike K. just popped in. Are you still bearish? I'm a grizzly. I'm a Kodiak. There is no bigger bear out here. But, of course, I would be the biggest bull tomorrow if this thing would break out. But we're not getting volume, and as long as this thing continues to close lower most of the days. But I think we're going to get our answer tomorrow in that, options rollover will be over. I don't put a lot of stock into options expiration day and the 2 days after it. But certainly that Wednesday is a good indication, and that's going to be tomorrow, on what really the market is doing out here. So we'll continue to look at it. Anyway, sugar, nice chart. Who can tell anything? There's no way to tell what the volume is out there. And again, you want to ask about 1,500 people who's going to be the next president to get anything statistically worth anything. And 38,000 shares of anything tells you pretty much nothing. That's at least my theory. Haynes Brand, HBI, out here, 1.3 million shares on December 6th, kind of set the high water market until it blew through it on January 20th and then closed right back below it again. We're crawling right back up here, this time no volume, and certainly going against that January 30th high with 2.4 million shares, and we're into it. Let's go ahead and update the chart here. If I can. There we go. And pretty significant that 471,000 shares back up at these highs. So the more that we look at these stocks, not a great deal of these stocks that actually are real companies with real earnings busting through. Most of them with dubious earnings like Tesla, and certainly dubious valuations. Getting all the love out there today as the market goes full tilt boogie into gambling phase. Hardman International, I don't know what I was looking at in this one. Maybe another one, FCX. Industrial Producers Durables Alpha Index, FXR. I looked at this one this morning. Never really had seen it before. Another one with a really spotty volume, but interesting test to the top on light volume. And another one at highs, FFS, Federal Site, we'll do something else. Fiesta Restaurant Group kind of looked like an ABC down to me. I've been watching this out here. If you go to the expansions, we should pick these up fairly quickly. And 53, do we have a 53? No, we don't. Okay. So A, B, and we'll make that one C. And we're good to go. But Fiesta Restaurant Group, I don't know enough about these guys, but certainly just a little over our 618 retracement, 65% retracement, making a little doji out here today. It's got me a little interested in it. Fiesta Restaurant Group owns, operates, and franchises fast casual restaurants under the Polo, Tropical, and Taco Cabana brand names, which are very popular around Tampa, by the way. But every time I go in there, not a lot of English being spoken, mostly Espanol. Very popular with the south of the border folks around in this area. It's franchised in 38 in the United States, Puerto Rico, Bahamas, Costa Rica, Ecuador, Honduras, India. I went there and ate a couple of times. I wasn't real impressed with their food, but I'm a gringo. What do I know? Okay, and let's get back up in here. Triple top in the First Industrial Realty Trust. FR is the symbol on this thing. Been banging around in these high $18 range for a while. Going up against the October 25th high right now, $18.95, 1.6 million shares. Did 2 pennies above it yesterday with 590,000 shares. So basically getting into these highs with a third of the volume. And when we look at it today, 285,000 shares. Not a lot of interest. Energy not all that bad on the way up, but certainly every time we get up to these highs, the volume is pretty easy to just drop out. Let's see if I got anything else here. Let me get some mail here. Let's see. I got that. And let's see. Gold on wind. I answered that. And nothing else in the dents. So I'm back to Endeavor Silver, which I thought was very interesting. Probably the bearish chart that I've found in precious metals right now. This symbol is EXK. I always say it backwards. EXK. Anyway, the last major high, August 27th, this thing hit 593 with 3.4 million shares, kind of rolled over that day. We've been going into it yesterday, 1.8 million shares. Today, 1.8 million shares. So we may get up to 2 million shares on this. Went above it. Nickel is going to close back below it. So a solid sell signal in the Wyckoff method, and pretty much what we're looking for. Electronic Arts, another one up at these highs. Again, light volume. When we look at Electronic Arts, really looking at the August 23rd high, $28.13, 6.2 million shares. We get into it a few days ago, 3.5 million shares on the 18th, and this thing's just been going sideways for 5 days. And a nice little doji today. This thing's going to break hard one way or the other tomorrow. And this will be one of the stocks I want to be watching to see what's happening in the marketplace. Anyway, we'll be back in a minute. You can still have time to give me a call. 877-927-6648. We'll be back in a minute.
Daryl Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his diagnostic box spread analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Daryl Martin's diagnostic box spread analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
We're told to follow our passion and everything else will fall into place. I hope that's what each of you are doing each and every day. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Money Master Show at TFNN.com, and my passion for technical analysis is what led me to the most fundamental discovery in pattern recognition, the Rhodes Momentum Indicator, market scanner, and trading strategy, a set of tools that identify the momentum and power of the trend, the likes of which have never been seen before, for every market and every time frame. Yes, folks, the trend is your friend, unless you're on the other side. New to technical analysis? This is the place to start. And experienced traders, take advantage of the trend like never before. Experience the power of the Rhodes Momentum Indicator each day, available to subscribers of my newsletter service, Mastering Probability. I guarantee your satisfaction for the next 30 days unconditionally, so there's no risk to you other than being on the wrong side of the trend. Mastering Probability, available on the homepage of TFNN.com. And folks, live with passion.
Join Andy Hecht as he teaches you how to make money in commodities. The Commodities Hour, next on TFNN.
And we were looking at electronic arts. We'll look at BPI. Comment in the den about my thought that maybe we were looking at a fifth wave in gold out here. One of the questions that I've been asked via email is why do I think that is the case? And a lot of it was not so much the way gold acted, but the way that the GDX acted. We've been talking about exactly where the what was it? The confluence level was, and it was at about $24.35. Anyway, blew right through that, and that's incredibly rare. And that was probably my first belief that if it did break that area in the 24.30 area on the GDX, and it just didn't stop, that you're going to get these kind of markets that just never really quit. They just keep going up and up and up, a little bit every day, not a whole lot. I think we've had the bulk of the huge move. This thing could flatten out now, and you can see gold going up a couple bucks every couple of days, and maybe back $5 one day, and then a week of going up $3, $4, $5, $10 or whatever. And that's kind of the way that a fifth wave works. It never gives you real opportunity to get back in. It comes off the bottom fairly decently, energy good, and then what you find out is that maybe it's a little tougher than when you're thinking, oh, actually there's my confluence level there. What was it, 25.43? Yeah, 24.48. I think there was actually, maybe the other one I'm thinking of is in the GDXJ. But anyway, it blew through those confluence levels, and very, very rare to see anything smack down as hard as gold was, instantly turn right around and rip through those confluence levels above. And good sign that the market is looking for a huge run toward the end of its bull run. And of course, we've had, more than 10 years of playing gold out here at TFNN. But it's still interesting. Anyway, got a chance to look at a couple more stocks before the end of the day. Got a couple of, let's see if I get anything else. iPhone. Okay. Acuity Brands. We've talked about this the last couple of days. Another one up here hanging like a loose tooth or a fingernail that's just about ready to be pulled off. Certainly looking at this January 9th high where it spiked up to 136.46 with 1.9 million shares. Last 3 days, 300,000 shares, 273,000 shares today, 275,000 shares, and a nice little doji out here. So a lot of these stocks could set up. Of course, you've got a huge gap, 110 to 120 on this thing, and my guess is that this thing would move right back down for those gaps now that it's had kind of a chance to come up here and say hello to its little buddies. Say hello to my little friend up here at 136.46, and it just looks like to me it's about ready to roll over. We've got Andy Heck coming in, and maybe he'll talk more about sugar. I just don't like to put a lot into a chart that's got 36,000 shares. SGG for the ETF, probably good to play, but you're going to have to play it probably off the futures. Maybe Andy will talk about sugar today. He's always very bashful about talking about sugar, but sometimes he can talk about it. You know, that's how his dad died. Got taken out by sugar. Big sugar. So he's always worried about talking about sugar. Anyway, we'll be back tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time. Remember to sell when you can, not when you have to.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
You're watching Tiger TV.